Anytime you see Kazuya on the loading screen, if you're not doing this already, start forming your game plan and remember, I need to walk left. Kazuya needs time to use his good moves. It's typically around 20 frames. His pokes are not good. The more you can pressure the Kazuya player, the better for you. What's up guys, TheMainManSWE here, hoping you're all doing awesome as always, and hopefully I do a good recording today, because today it's gonna be a big deal. I want to start my How to Beat series, which is basically like anti-character guides. So today we're gonna discuss how to win against Kazuya Mishima, who is the character I've been playing for like close to 30 years. It's been a while. In this game I main Kazuya, Heihachi, and Brian. So today, yeah, one of my mains we're going to discuss. By the end of a couple of months, I hope you have at least a video like this on half the roster is going to be my goal. And the great thing about these videos is that we're not going to go through, you know, the move list and look at every goddamn move. I don't think that's very productive. You're going to forget everything anyway. It's much better to look at a few golden rules, like general rules. Do this, this, this. So please try and keep these rules in mind to make it significantly easier. The first golden rule playing against Kazuya, and this has always been the case, is that you want to play 3D Tekken against Kazuya by stepping to the left. If you do not sidewalk to the left, Kazuya is probably twice as strong. You cannot play against this character if you play 2D Tekken, moving back and forth. It's just not going to work out for you. You have to sidewalk to the left. Anytime you see Kazuya on the loading screen, if you're not doing this already, start forming your game plan and remember, I need to walk left. Be it in the neutral, you'll be looking out for dash electrics, like this, and you'll be looking out for devil fist at this distance. And those are beaten by stepping to the left. For both of those options, you want to time it a little bit. Like, okay, I think he's going to move in now, and you do it, right? You want to time it with his approach. If you're standing right next to him, you are much safer to just sidewalking left like this. From this range, you want to time it a bit. So ever since the dawn of time, it's been safe mid launcher, mixed by hell sweep, knockdown low, and then we can add to this right now with patch 105. You got the patricide fist, which is also a very strong 50-50 option. So Kazuya's base game plan is apply this 50-50, knock down low into very strong Oki Vortex, or just knock me down with Patricide Fist, or launch me with forward 3. All of this is beaten by sidewalking left. There's just no tracking on any of these options if you step left, not right. Remember here that the way you sidewalk in any Tekken game is that you start walking and you wait for your opponent to finish whatever they're doing, and then you take your punish. Sidewalking requires patience. If you press too early, you will see this move, CD41, this punch here, it will hit you when you're behind Kazuya. When you want to punish someone while you're sidewalking, you have to wait out their attack. So if he hell sweeps now, I'm gonna wait out the entire sequence before I take my punish. Like so. But so Kazuya's basic 50-50 is beaten by walking to the left. And when we are in the neutral, against this distance, you might get a dash electric, you might get a devil fist. These are also both beaten by sidewalk left, but you're going to time them. So you can visually confirm he is going in, sidewalk. And the next thing I want to look at, be very mindful of how you get back up to your feet against this character. He has very, very strong Oki. What we mean when we say Oki, Oki-semi, or ground game is once you're knocked down, what can the opponent do to you while you're grounded? Kazuya is one of the strongest Oki characters in the game due to the steel pedal basically destroying you when you're grounded, but also in that you saw how risky this is to do in the neutral, right? You can step him and kill Kazuya. So Kazuya loves this situation When you're trying to get back to your feet, you're locked in an animation, and now he can, without risk, apply this mix-up, right? So the second very important thing against Kazuya is be very, very careful about what you do once you're knocked down. So here, you don't want to mindlessly tech roll like this. Because during that tech roll, as I'm recovering here, he can, without taking any risk, apply a new 50-50 on you. It's a good idea to actually just stay on the ground, in my opinion, see what he does, or roll on the ground. You'll see a lot of top players do this, knock down, roll on the ground, you see what he does. Most beginner and intermediate Kazuyas don't know what to do when you stay on the ground. They certainly know about steel pedal, but they're very slow to apply, like, okay, he's staying on the ground, steel pedal immediately. That's more like high-level Kazuya stuff. So if you just stop tech rolling mindlessly all the time, you'll do so much better in this matchup. You can also hold forward here to do that. I'm gonna record him doing hell sweep into wanting to do another mix-up on you, like so. Holding forward here is super effective. Super effective. And very hard for the Kazuya player to punish. So instead of mindlessly tech rolling, I would say experiment with holding forward. Experiment with staying on the ground. Experiment with toe kick. Down free. Toe kick. Experiment with this as well. This goes for any knockdown, like 1-1-2 is the most typical knockdown you'll see, like 1-1-2 or hell sweep or post combo ender. So something like here. I just want to say, like, stop mindlessly tech rolling. So many of you have gigantic problems in this matchup, and it's because you're not really thinking when you're playing. Anytime you're knocked down, you're mindlessly mashing tech roll like you're playing against any character in the game, but against Yoshi, against Kazuya, it's like death sentence. We talked about sidewalk left, but step 1. Step 2 is you want to counter his vortex. Do not mindlessly tech roll. Think about how you get back up to your feet again. The next thing I'm going to discuss is that Kazuya is very lackluster in terms of panic buttons and small Tekken. With small Tekken, we're talking about poking. So how well a character does up close when we're trading pokes. His panic buttons are slow on startup. Pretty slow. Or they just don't have enough evasion. His power crush is trash. Does have a punch parry. But again, if you know to use kicks, for example, you're gonna work around that. Most Kazuyas don't use that anyway. Step number 3, in my opinion, and this one you guys do really well already, it's pressure the Kazuya player like mad. Kazuya needs time to use his good moves. It's typically around 20 frames. His pokes are not good. The more you can pressure the Kazuya player, the better for you. Kazuya will also, to get the most out of his defense, which is typically step or punish, he'll play conventional fundamental Tekken. Ducka high, blah blah blah. So you really want to test how much knowledge does this Kazuya player have on my character. So try to play more knowledge checky than you typically would. I mean, it's good to do anyway, but against a Kazuya player who doesn't have a Devil Jin, you know, hop kick or turn stealing attack, he doesn't have that. So you're free to really test his defense. He can't just press a button to get out of whatever you're doing. Pressure him a lot, lock him down. He plays poor small Tekken, no good panic buttons. Pressure him, knowledge check him. A lot of beginner and intermediate Kazuya players get very lazy in how they apply electric. They'll stand from this distance and just start spamming electrics like this. Very important here to recognize that moves with high evasion are crucial to utilize here. A lot of high-level Kazuyas in match, when they recognize someone is sloppy with electric, they'll go in with this. So again, this is a very strong high evasive attack for Kazuya. But it's not used as a panic button due to its input, but more in occasions like this, where you want to move in on someone spamming highs. Maybe a Steve back 1, maybe an electric spamming Mishima. Very good. Beginner and intermediate Kazuya players lazy with electrics. He's just throwing them like this. Move in with an attack that always beats highs. That always beats highs. Also, and this is very difficult, but it is possible to whiff punish electrics. It is possible, but it's very hard to do. That's something for you high-level players to aspire to. But for beginner and intermediate players, move in with an attack that beats highs. Next thing we're gonna look at that is unbelievably important. Kazuyas will spam, even some high-level Kazuyas will spam this move all the time. Why is that? It's a 14-frame mid-counter-hit launcher. Homing does huge damage now with new combo routes. If it can perfect electric, 1 billion damage. It's almost a round ender, but that's rare. And a lot of Kazuyas also, when they drop electrics, will get this. Involuntarily, you'll see more abolishing fist, down forward 2. It is crucial to always punish this attack. Always punish this attack. You can't for 1 second let Kazuyas get away with this move. If you don't punish, this move is way too strong and abusable. So again, anytime you see this attack, you have to punish it. If there's one attack that has to become muscle memory for you to punish, it is down forward 2. And the same goes for 112. 112 has to be punished. You have to remember this is minus 17. So this is launch, right? Have to launch this. Has to be muscle memory. Flash punch is way too strong. Can't let them abuse this. If you play basically any character in the game, you have an easy launch here. If you play Kazuya and Heihachi, you do not have an easy launch here. You have a 50 damage easy option, but you gotta learn to electric this. But it's much harder than you think. It's not easy. But it's very good to electric launch. But those of you who play the other characters, down forward 2, hop kick, can, or whatever it is, make sure you launch this. And then hell sweep. This will go without saying. But again, if we block a hell sweep, we launch. We always launch. Right? I cry a bit when I see intermediate Kazuyas do this. I cry. Gotta launch it. Every time. So that second hit also has to be launched. Twin pistons are minus 12. Take the punish. Even in high level, most people don't punish Demon Godfist properly. This is not a minus 12 attack. This is while standing 2. That will be used as a 50-50 homing option or a whip. Sometimes Kazuyas whiff punish with this. I like doing that. But if it's whiffed, he takes forever to recover. That's a punish. That's a punish. If it's blocked, it's minus 18. This has to be launched. So again, it's not minus 12, it's minus 18. The next one we're gonna look at is Kazuya's doing the downward 1 series. We have downward 1-2, which is a heat engager. It's unnatural. It is a mid-high. This one is neutral on block. Kazuyas afterwards will do all kinds of things. I've seen Kazuyas try and do this down for 2 because people assume that's like minus 8 and they start doing something big like a forward 3. Remember that it's neutral here and it's a good idea to try and jab check Kazuya or block. But know that you can duck this. You can duck the second hit and kill Kazuya. Down for 1-4, you can duck the second hit and kill Kazuya. Down for 1, down for 2 is the mid option, and this one on hit will knock you down like this, and you will take 20 damage. In my opinion, the risk reward is in your favor in terms of ducking. A lot of Kazuyas will mindlessly throw out these, these. So in my opinion, if you see a down forward 1-2, or down forward 1 startup, I typically always duck because the risk reward is in my favor. So again, if I get the duck on the high, Kazuya dies, right? But if he goes with the mid, not so bad. I take 20 damage and I get knocked down. But of course, it's a mind game. Do note, though, that the risk reward changes drastically once you're at the wall. Because now, of course, now it's a wall splat if he does the mid. So as soon as he has you at the wall, I do not recommend ducking this sequence. I just recommend stand guarding. I just wanted to say that in heat, Kazuya gets access to a panic button, which is Shikue. Gotta be a little bit careful. And suddenly he goes from having no panic button to having arguably one of the best panic buttons in the game. Gotta be really careful about how you approach him then. He turns into an absolute god when he's in heat. He's an absolute god. And what I said about sidewalk left in the neutral doesn't apply anymore, because when he does this and heat dashes out of it, it almost becomes fully homing. The step is like frame perfect. Suddenly you have to respect him and almost play 2D Tekken against him. The good thing is, though, that when you do block that, he goes out of heat, because he has to dash out of it. This hell sweep will do 45 damage into a hard knockdown, right? So now, everything we said about toe kick, holding forward, you know, don't tech roll, all of that doesn't apply, because this is a locked animation. This is a hard knockdown. Here, I do want to say that a lot of Kazuyas will do this, Oki laser. Which you can either roll on the ground or stand guard, or sorry, stand up into a crouch guard to block, right? If he thinks you're going to do that, the Devil Fister is so fast that you will get launched. So a good option to do here is to stay on the ground and roll, and to beat that, the Kazuya player has to go in and steel pedal, basically. Steel pedal will hit you here, so it's a mind game, but it's a very devastating Oki situation, and it's really disgusting at the wall as well. Like here, if you try and stand back up quickly, down for 2 will knock you down and flip you on the ground. And if you stay on the ground, he can OTG you, he can off the ground you with this. But now we're talking about very strong Kazuya players. Very strong Kazuya players. But I'm just saying, like, this hell sweep is insanely strong. Thankfully, it costs a lot of heat to do, but it's a disgusting hell sweep. Last thing I'm gonna discuss is ManSWE Tech. ManSWE Tech is post combo, dash in forward 4 like this. This forward 4 will guarantee a steel pedal unless you hold up to do a quick stand. So this will be guaranteed, and it's powerful because that forward 4 will deal a lot of damage, and then you enter another vortex situation, right? So to beat this, you have to hold up. If you hold up, you will automatically block that steel pedal. That's something you have to do there, otherwise you're gonna take so much damage, like, needlessly, but you don't have to. But then that opens up mind games for the Kazuya player, because if he thinks you're going to hold up to try and block that steel pedal, he can just immediately hell sweep here. Right, so it's a mind game. These were my general rules as to play Kazuya. Of course, I could make a 3-hour video and we could discuss every single string he has, but that's going to be up to you as a player to discover on your own. I see so many players who are beginner and intermediate and who do not apply these things. And when you do not apply what I've mentioned in this video, the matchup is 10 times harder. Legit 10 times harder than it has to be. So I hope this is a big help to everyone. And on the next video, we're gonna cover probably Brian. But have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.